Welcome to the video on configuring an Active Directory data feed for Mobiso. Mobiso has the ability to pull its data from an Active Directory server. When utilizing an Active Directory feed, all accounts will be created as people records within Mobiso. To configure Mobiso to use an Active Directory data feed, browse to the Directory Management People page of the admin interface. Click on AD Import, and this will pop up the AD Import window. Mobiso can be configured for multiple Active Directory feeds. Each feed is known as a profile. To configure a new Active Directory profile, click New. Enter a name for this profile, and if you want this profile to be processed during the daily directory update scheduled task, check the Auto Process checkbox. Enter the Active Directory server name, username to use when connecting to the Active Directory server, the password for the username, and set the security type for the connection to the Active Directory server. In the Transfer Attribute field, enter the Active Directory attribute that will be used to populate the Office extension field of a user record. Select the attributes to be used to fill in the Tiebreaker 1 and Tiebreaker 2 fields of the user record. Optionally, these fields can be left blank. The Scope, Base DN, and Filter fields will determine what data is pulled from the Active Directory server. These fields will need to be filled in by your Active Directory server administrator. Mobiso Admin Guide does have an example Active Directory configuration that can be used for reference. Once all of the required fields are filled in, click Validate to validate the configuration. If the validation passes, you will be able to save the profile. If there are any issues, they will need to be resolved before the profile can be saved. To manually run the Active Directory import, click the Execute button and Mobiso will immediately start the Active Directory import process. Mobiso will connect to the Active Directory server to retrieve the data. The data will then be validated in the same fashion as a CSV file is validated, and the results will be displayed on screen. Click Load to load the data into Mobiso. After the data is loaded, the results will be displayed on screen. If Mobiso is connecting to the Active Directory server, but it is not pulling any data, the issue typically lies with the scope, base DN, and/or filter that has been specified. This can most easily be troubleshooted by running the query directly on your Active Directory server and adjusting those fields accordingly until the desired results are reached. One method to test the query on your Active Directory server is to utilize the CSVDE program from Microsoft. The Active Directory data push to Mobiso with CSVDE appendix mentions how to use the CSVDE program and can be used for reference. However, please refer to Microsoft for the full documentation on the CSVDE program. This concludes the video on configuring an Active Directory data feed for Mobiso. For additional information on configuring and using Mobiso, please reference the admin guide or refer to additional videos available online.